You are allowed to talk about urgency. You cannot say the word panic. This is a team that understands the situation they are in. 5-5, do the math. Andy Reid posing the challenge to his players. We recognize this situation, but we ask you, what can you do to fix it? And he said the only thing we can do is beat the Colts. Patrick Mahomes saying that he understands they have to treat this like a divisional game or even a championship game at this point in the season. Now, I was talking to Colts defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo, who said when he watches all of the tape, more than any of us have on the Chiefs, he recognizes this team is still so dangerous that they look like the team of last year. They're simply not winning close games. The Chiefs know they have to close if they're going to make this playoff push. Really?
All right, Jeff will be there for us all day long. And here are some numbers that may seem counterintuitive. This is the Chiefs last year through 10 games and this year through 10 games. You'll notice they're scoring more points, they're gaining more yards, they're allowing fewer points, and yet they have won 4 fewer games. The difference is those one-score games, they were perfect in them a year ago and winless in them this year. And Alex, as you were, you know that team better than anybody, having played there with the much of this past. You were looking at the tape last week, you used the word sloppy to describe it. What do we mean by that?
Yeah, these really lack details. You heard Andy talk about it all week. And coming off that Denver game, they go in there battling for the division. They had 10 offensive penalties, right? They were not very good situationally, bad in the red zone. They missed long, deep balls down the field. And listen, they've got to get these things cleaned up. Again, here, another week of preparation. Now your back's against the wall for the wild card. And the thing I want to see back to this offense, like, I'll never forget when I got there, that Andy and this offense, so often, there were always like 6 to 8 just gimme throws that were built into the offense that he got open, right? I didn't really have to do anything as a quarterback. I just don't see that anymore. They rely way too much on Patrick creating offense, doing so many things out of rhythm. I want to get them back to seeing them manufacture some of these plays. I think being at home will help. Listen, this team is 17 points better per game at Arrowhead than they are on the road. Communication, a big part of it. Obviously, they'll have the benefit of that today.
Yeah, one thing that would help would actually be finding any kind of running game. All right, this is the lowest frequency in Andy Reid's history. He's never been a ground and pound type coach, but this is ridiculous. 36% of the time, 36% frequency is what they run the ball on early downs. And why is that important? Well, it sets up your play action. It does all those type of things. The movement in the pocket for Patrick Mahomes, all of that. And it's out the window because nobody respects your running game. They can play those 2 high safeties on you and get after the passer. Stop the run on the way to the quarterback. It's a big difference. I wish they had some kind of running game.
You know, you talk about, Rex, I really don't know, Alex, I really don't know how much trust they have in this offensive line. Where they play sporadic, jumping off sides, running into each other, not, opening the hole. But when I talk about this game, I talked about at the start of this show, talking about, Tranquil, talking about Bolton, what they need to do. I'm not going to even leave out a guy like Chris Jones and what he needs in the impact of his game, impact of him as a player in a game like this. Because the reason why, you have a guy like Jonathan Taylor. I said the number 1 rushing offense in all of football. When you look at a guy like Jonathan Taylor, yes, we really a very underrated back. And the reason why is because when he gets to the hole and shows his explosion and he's pulling off from the second and third tier of your defense, this guy right here is arguably being considered for the MVP. Every year we talk about quarterbacks, but this man right here has been doing it. And one thing I cannot leave out, stay ahead of the sticks for the Indianapolis Colts. The reason why you have a guy like Jonathan Taylor, averaging 6 yards per rush. It only takes 10 yards for you to make a first down. So those guys on the Kansas City Chiefs defense led with Spags, y'all have to be able to get after them, stop the run. And Rex, speaking, I got my coach right here. Rex, how would you stop an offense like that? They have weapons everywhere. How would you stop the coach, Rex?
Well, I would run blitz. I would do run blitzes. And the difference is you're trying to beat protections when you're attacking the pass. All right? Run, I'm going to attack the line of scrimmage. And I'm going to do it 2 different ways. I'm going to do internal pressures. Watch for those cross dogs with the inside linebackers. And then I'm going to be bringing somebody out of the back end, especially off the short side, safeties, corners, anything off of there. And the reason for it is I'm going to take away your best offensive weapon. And Randy and I were looking at this. Only 5 times in the history of the NFL has there been a guy that averages 6 yards per rush and average over 100 yards per game. I'm taking away him first, and then I'm going to get people on the quarterback.
So the playoff race just getting started. I know you showed them. The 3 wild card teams. Do we see any of them winning out? I don't. The Chiefs are sitting at 5-5. Does anyone doubt that they can win this football game? They can beat any team in the National Football League. And you talked about the stats and how much points they scored last year to how much points they scored this year. It's when you score the points. It's when you make the plays. Specifically against Denver last week. A 68-yard punt return leads to 3 points. You have an extra point blocked. And Patrick Mahomes throws red area INT. Take away those 3 and let's rock. And let's play. That's what they have to fix. There's no panic here. I have no panic for the Kansas City Chiefs. 5-5 right now. Can they go off and rattle 6 in a row? Again, 7, 5 out of the next 7. Absolutely. It's just getting started.
The schedule's not easy, though. Obviously, this is a monster game today against the Colts. You still have the Texans, you have the Chargers, you have the Broncos again, right? It is not an easy road here to get into the playoffs. And you already mentioned they've dug themselves a hole. They've lost to every wild card team already. The margin of error is, I don't ever remember being this
Anyone,
small.
any team they can't beat there, it's none.
I want a 5-5 football team for a reason. To me, I don't think it's that dominant of a team.
I would like to get back to the game, and there was something that I would like to make a real good point. It's more on the Indianapolis coaches acquiring a guy like Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
At first they was just sit back in zone, just let all the plays, let the quarterback, all eyes on the quarterback. But as of lately, in the last couple of weeks, they've been playing a lot more man than what we've seen from Anarumo's defense. So my concern for Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes, they have their work cut out for them because in the last couple of weeks, yes, it has not been there on the scoreboard, but they're coming into town and they're going to put points up.
It's our very quarterback today, too.
The story we're watching very closely this morning is the status of Aaron Rodgers. I want you to see what happened on the field not long ago, and then I'll explain the significance of it. There's Rodgers making his way on the field. He sees our cameras, and he immediately, as you see,
the right hand works.
Lets us know what we're doing correct.
The right
left hand is tucked into his pocket, and so our Dan Graziano, who was covering the game, made what I think is the astute observation. Aaron Rodgers, walking out onto the field, flipped off a couple of the cameras using his right hand. It's unclear if he could do it with his left. So his Saturday for up in the air. Adam Schefter will have the latest on that and other injuries as we roll. Schefter, what else do we have coming?
Man, I know you Chief fans are hearing us right now coming through your television out there in the parking lot because the Indianapolis Colts, led by Jonathan Taylor, the #1 rusher, offense and all the football is coming into town. I want to know the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Drew Tranquil and Nick Bolton, the leading tackler for this defense. Hey, man, y'all better have your run fit, fill the gaps, understand what the guards are trying to do because it's going down. Danny Dimes and his Indianapolis Colts are coming into town. Kansas City, you ready for this?
Well, a huge divisional game is your Vikings against the Packers right there. No concern over Jordan Love. He's been playing outstanding. My concern, J.J. McCarthy. Man, oh man, can we at least get it in the right zip code? This is ridiculous. Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the league. His inconsistency has been absolutely mind-boggling. Later in the show, our own Alex Smith is going to tell us exactly why it's happening.
Fellas, let's go here because I can't wait to see Eagles, Cowboys. And I got 3 words for you from the previous matchup. CD drop. That's exactly what he did in critical situations when Dak put it right on the money. Tough catches, yes, but CD knows he had to get that done. He's going to be ready to bounce back today. But Quinion Mitchell is coming because this is one of the best.